In the vast multiverse of Marvel, power is measured not just by strength, but by intellect, presence, and sheer unpredictability. Today, we're stepping into a battlefield where the rules of reality are rewritten, where minds can shatter and entire universes can tremble. On one side, we have Cassandra Nova, a parasitic psychic entity created from Charles Xavier's own DNA, an entity who embodies his dark mirror. On the other side, we have the Sentry, also known as Robert Reynolds, a being of unlimited power who possesses the strength of 1,000,000 exploding suns and a mind haunted by his darker counterpart, the Void. Both these characters have warped the definition of superhero and villain. Both have shaken the Marvel Universe in ways few others ever have. But what would happen if these two ever came face to face? If Cassandra Nova, with her insidious psychic manipulation and genocidal rage, were to challenge the godlike strength and unstable psyche of the Sentry, who would come out victorious? This isn't just about brute force. This is a battle of minds, of wills, and of the most terrifying aspects of power unchecked. In this showdown, we explore their origins, powers, weaknesses, tactics, and finally conclude with who would truly win in this epic face-off. Origins and psychological depth. To understand who would win, we must first understand who they are. Cassandra Nova is not your average mutant villain. She's a mummadre, a parasitic, psychic life form from the astral plane that came into existence as Charles Xavier formed in the womb. Born out of hate and rivalry, she tried to kill Xavier before birth but was cast out. Surviving as a psychic remnant, she rebuilt herself over time and eventually emerged as a monstrous force of chaos. Her greatest feat? Genocide. She manipulated the Sentinel master mold and orchestrated the extermination of 16 million mutants in Genosha, one of the darkest chapters in mutant history. She's cunning, manipulative, and completely devoid of empathy. On the other hand, the Sentry, or Robert Reynolds, has one of the most tragic and complex origins in all of Marvel. A drug addict who stumbled upon a secret serum meant to be more potent than the super soldier formula, he gained unfathomable power. But with that power came his dark mirror, the Void. For every heroic act he performs, the Void balances it with an equal measure of destruction. Reynolds is often at war with himself, battling schizophrenia, depression, and a fragmented memory. Yet, when stable, he is nearly unbeatable. This contrast in origins gives us insight into their personalities. Cassandra is a master manipulator, emotionless and cold. The Sentry is emotional, conflicted, and prone to mental breakdowns. In a mental battle, that could be Cassandra's biggest advantage. Powers, abilities, and feats. Let's break down their powers to understand the battlefield better. Cassandra Nova's powers are terrifying because they go beyond the physical realm. She is a top-tier telepath and telekinetic, capable of mind-controlling armies, rewriting memories, inducing madness, and overriding even the most fortified mental defenses. She has also shown intangibility, regeneration, and DNA manipulation. At her peak, she's controlled Charles Xavier, influenced Emma Frost, and matched the telepathy of Phoenix-level Jean Grey. Remember, she didn't just order genocide, she controlled the mechanisms to make it happen. She also has a secondary brain hidden from most telepaths, making her difficult to detect or influence. Meanwhile, the Sentry is sheer cosmic chaos in human form. His powers include superhuman strength, invulnerability, teleportation, energy projection, flight, molecular manipulation, and even resurrection. He once tore Ares, the god of war, in half. He battled Worldbreaker Hulk to a stalemate. He survived being torn apart and regenerated himself. He has flown into the sun, absorbed energy attacks from Galactus-level beings, and even held back the Void, which alone could destroy the world. His only weakness? His mind. The Void lives within him, waiting for a crack in his sanity to unleash devastation. In terms of raw power, the Sentry easily wins. But power alone doesn't determine a fight. Strategy and control do. Tactics, mental warfare, and match scenarios. Let's imagine the fight. At first glance, the Sentry would blitz Cassandra at light speed, attempting to obliterate her before she can even blink. He's fast, devastating, and physically unmatched. But Cassandra is not one to be surprised. Her precognition and telepathy would likely alert her before he even moves. She could phase through his initial attacks, plant false memories, or even trigger a psychological attack on the Void itself. Remember, the Sentry is vulnerable to mental attacks. He once forgot his entire identity due to memory manipulation. Cassandra could exploit this. She's been known to twist even the strongest minds, and if she could reach the void inside him, she might unleash it just to distract him. A sentry with the void active is not a savior, it's a destroyer. Cassandra, ever the strategist, might manipulate Sentry into losing control, turning him into a danger to everyone, including himself. But there's a counter-argument. If the Sentry is in control, particularly in his merged form, where he controls both his own persona and the void, he's essentially unbeatable. In the King in Black storyline, he flew in and destroyed Carnage like swatting a fly. If Cassandra tries to attack his mind during this version, she could be overwhelmed by the presence of the void. It's a dangerous gamble. One wrong move, and she could be absorbed or torn apart at a molecular level. In close quarters, she stands little chance. But if the battle stretches, if she gets time to strategize and manipulate, her odds increase drastically. Final verdict: who would win? So who wins, Cassandra Nova or the Sentry? In terms of raw power, durability, and physical dominance, the Sentry is unmatched. He is a cosmic force wrapped in human skin. If he strikes first with full control, Cassandra would be atomized before she could counter. But the mind is the battlefield Cassandra rules. If she is given time, if the battle leans towards psychological warfare rather than brute strength, she can unravel Sentry from the inside. She could exploit his fears, memories, and even manipulate the void to either attack him or force him into a catatonic state. In a prolonged battle of strategy and manipulation, Cassandra could win. Yet, there's a middle ground: the merged Sentry. The version who has come to terms with the void and embraces his full power without instability might be the form that tips the scale. Cassandra could attempt psychic manipulation, but the merged Sentry has shown resistance to psychic assault and can act with brutal efficiency. So the final result? Winner, the Sentry, but only in his merged, mentally stable form. In all other versions, Cassandra Nova has the upper hand through manipulation and psychological assault. But against a stable Sentry, she is simply outmatched. In a straight-up confrontation with no time to scheme, Sentry's power is overwhelming. However, if she can get inside his head before he gets serious, she could twist this god into destroying himself. In short, it's not just about who's stronger, it's about who strikes first, who stays in control, and who understands the battlefield. This match could go either way, but the edge, by a narrow, explosive margin, goes to the Sentry. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.